Go to the guest hotline, bring in Cousin Sal. We love every time he joins the program. Fox Bet Live on FS1, co-founder of the Extra Points Podcast Network, as well on social media. Catch him, the Cousin Sal. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, Keith, what's happening, man? Thanks for having me.
No problem. I love chatting with you. All right, let's dive into yesterday because I opened the show today. I feel like every other network is doing the blame game, right? You can blame this person, you can blame that person. And I said, I don't necessarily want to blame a singular person for anything for the Packers or for the Bills. I'll go to you. Are you passing blame, or do you think it was just, two teams that lost to two teams that happen to play better on a Sunday?
I think the Chiefs were better than the Bills. I think the Packers were going in were better than the Bucks, and I think they needed two monumental collapses at the end of each half to lose the way they did. And I think it was just that. Like, people want to bet. The big news is LaFleur not going for it on fourth down, kicking a field goal down 8 with like 2:05 or 2:07 left. To me, the play before the half was just as bad. And Mike Pettin and that defense, and I've been praising it all so much because in the last 7 weeks, they've allowed like 17 points a game and they've been playing lights out. But to give up that, first of all, the sequence of events there with Tampa Bay looking to punt on 4th and 3, they don't even go to draw offsides. They call timeout, and then they line up. Brady gets back up there. They throw a 6-yard pass, and then the Hail Mary, like, what's it going to be? Of course, it's going to be a long fly route down the side. Maybe not Scotty Miller. That'll surprise you, but you got to have a defense for that. Like, Greg Williams got fired for that defense. So instead of 14-10, it's 21-10. And I thought the coaching screwed up, obviously not going for it. Like, that's, I think the stat said since 2015, there's only been one team, Dan Quinn's team, who was elected to kick a field goal down that many points in that situation. And he no longer has a job. So, congratulations to the Bucks, but I think the Packers coaches really kicked it into gear and opened the door for them.
I love that you mentioned Greg Williams because I thought it was the funniest thing I saw on social media yesterday as that was happening. People were like, oh, Greg Williams called into Mike Pettin and said, hey, I got a defense for you to play. This is what you should do.
Yeah. It really reminded me of that, right? It was like such a
Right?
breakdown. Well, first of all, Brady had a great first half, like, because he had 3 one-on-one, like the man-to-man coverage. Like, I don't want to blame the coaches for this. These guys have to make the plays, Clark in the backfield and everything else. But he got lucky with 3 50-50 balls that gave him 14 points, with Godwin and Evans and one over there in the middle. And so, that first half was a disaster. And then for them to come back and just to hand it back over to that defense with 2:05 left, I thought it was a disaster.
Cousin Sal, I want to stay on this game. How do you walk away feeling about Rodgers and Brady after this one?
Well, Brady's the best. I think the book was closed on that years ago. I think after they beat Atlanta in the Super Bowl, which was his Super Bowl. You could say Brady Belichick, but that was Brady's Super Bowl to win. So okay, so now he's got 6. You could have even closed it on at 4, but he's got 6 now. So he's the best. Forget about comparing him to anyone else. You can go to other sports now. Secretariat versus Brady, better argument there than Montana Brady or anyone. Rodgers had a chance, I think, to get up to Montana's level there, his status, to do it and win 2 Super Bowls like he did so many years apart. But still, with MVP form like he had, he didn't even play that terribly except for the fourth quarter. He was like 5 for 12 for 54 yards or something crazy. So I feel bad for him. I don't know that he moves on. I think he's just mad at his coach, and I would be too. But I don't think he's moving on from the Packers just yet. They were a couple plays away from advancing to the Super Bowl. But that's how I see them as far as ranks in history.
Yeah, back-to-back years of 13 wins. You got a good young coach that maybe made a little gaffe at the end of the game. I think that if you're Rodgers, you stay. Let's go to Mahomes and go to Josh Allen. When you walk away from that game, there are also people that really hate the way McDermott coached that game. Are you on that side where you hate the way he coached that game? Or, as you said, Kansas City was just the better team?
I think both. I mean, Kansas City was better, and that's why you can't coach the way McDermott did, right? You can't settle for 3 points when you know the Chiefs aren't done scoring. Those are empty drives. That's like punting against any other team. And you got so many benefits of having the Bills on, not just any offense, but any offense would have a benefit between defensive holding calls and, these guys tiptoeing it inbounds and just having great field awareness and everything, any kind of penalty. And, you got Diggs, you got a lot of Beasley on short routes. A lot could happen with that Bills offense, and you kick a field goal, it's kind of demoralizing, and then the Chiefs go go down and they kick a field goal or score a touchdown, and then that's it. And you have to be in that mindset to beat the Chiefs. There are some games like a month ago when they played Atlanta. I think it had 17 points. The Chiefs, their offense clearly wasn't clicking in that game. So maybe, okay, a field goal at that point is good. But no, yesterday you saw the Chiefs. They were unstoppable when Mahomes, the banged up version of Patrick Mahomes, that I think was their only hope of winning. He just toyed with them, and they won handily. So better team advanced, though, I thought.
Yeah, I feel like the Chiefs toyed with everybody just this entire year. I felt like they just took some resting time and didn't show all the wrinkles. From a betting standpoint, I find it difficult to bet for Mahomes, Hill, and Kelce. And my point is this. All of their numbers, every time I look, it's Mahomes over 325 yards passing, something like that. Like, all of that is astronomical. Do you touch any of that? Do you touch any props on those three?
I did. I went, reluctantly, I went with Kelce over 7.5 receptions. I'm like, that's insane. That's 2 games worth of receptions for a normal tight end, or even, or an upper echelon tight end gets 4 receptions for 64 yards or something. But to 7.5 in a game where they're going to be king on him. And guess what? He had 8 with 6 minutes left, 8 catches with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. You just can't screw them. I know they jack up these numbers. It's crazy. And as someone who had Mahomes rushing yards in the Super Bowl last year, only to win the bet, and then he takes 3 kneel downs for like minus 16 yards, something insane. So I lose the bet. So I am a little reluctant to bet those guys because those numbers are jacked up and weird stuff could happen at the end. But Kelce just seems to be, I don't know that anyone's better. I don't know that we've seen a better tight end wide receiver combination in the history of the game.
Or we have 2 weeks to talk about this, but we are sitting here on a Monday. How do you handicap the Super Bowl now?
Oh, man. It's tough because, I've seen 3s, I've seen 3.5s. I would urge people to go jump on Tampa at 3.5. What happened across the league yesterday, across the country yesterday, no matter if FanDuel got hit, a lot of the sports books got hit. A lot of big $500,000 bets came in within an hour of the game, and all on Tampa Bay plus 3 or 3.5. And I don't think anyone wants to hang a 3.5 for very long with this Tampa team because the Sharps will gobble it up. As old as Tom Brady is, he's not going to embarrass you in the Super Bowl, right? Like we haven't really seen that. So what are you really banking on? A last second drive here? Maybe they're down 10 even, and he has a drive to cut it to 3. So yes, we're talking on a Monday, 13 days before the Super Bowl. I'm leaning Tampa Bay, but got to see what happens.
Cousin Sal joining me, Keith Irizarry, Coast to Coast. Your new book is coming out tomorrow. You're going to be on with Kimmel. I don't know how that happened with that guy, but I guess you're slumming and you'll check out his show. Tell us about the book. What can we expect?
It's called You Can't Lose Them All. It's about a degenerate gambler and his idiot friends. I'm the degenerate gambler, and my idiot friends are featured all throughout my life. But yeah, it's basically a memoir. And like Matthew Berry could write like a fantasy football book about what to do, but this is really more about what not to do. Like, hey, here's what I did. Go the other way, and it takes you through my early days of gambling, flipping cards and the baseball cards in the schoolyard, and playing video poker behind my Aunt Chippy in Las Vegas, 30 feet back because those are the regulations, to what is now spiraled into an out of control, but more or less in control problem I have.
I got like 30 seconds. Tell me where people can get it.
BarnesandNoble.com, Amazon.com. I don't know. I think bookstore is essential. I don't even know, but yeah, go out and get them. But those 2 for sure, and wherever you get your books in general.
Yeah, that was why I asked. I don't know if bookstores are even open anymore, but dude, I'm so happy for you. Can't wait to read the book, and we'll talk again very soon. There he is, the great Cousin Sal, joining me, Keith Irizarry, Coast to Coast.